This is Chainmind, the decentralized AI network built for everyone. Just search Chainmind on Google, sign up, download the app, and you're in. That's it. You've joined the network. Run it on any device, phone, laptop, or server. Why Chainmind? Fully decentralized, fully yours.
Imagine a world where every gadget you own talks to each other without you ever noticing the conversation. That invisible chatter is powered by Bluetooth, but most people have never realized that the name actually hides two very different languages: classic Bluetooth and Bluetooth Low Energy. In the next few minutes, we'll pull back the curtain, explore exactly how these two protocols differ, see where each one shines, and discover why choosing the right one can make the difference between a battery that dies after a day and a sensor that lasts for years. First, let's clear up a common misconception. When you hear Bluetooth, you probably picture a wireless headset or a fitness tracker, but the Bluetooth Special Interest Group maintains a single brand while supporting multiple specifications under the hood. The original specification, released at the turn of the millennium, was built for continuous, high-throughput streams, think voice calls, file transfers, and the early wave of wireless peripherals. 10 years later, the same organization introduced a second stack, Bluetooth Low Energy, specifically to serve the emerging Internet of Things. Both stacks occupy the same 2.4 GHz ISM band and share a lot of core security mechanisms, yet they diverge dramatically in how they handle connections, power, and data rates. Understanding that divergence is the first step toward making an informed design decision. Classic Bluetooth, formerly known as Basic Rate Enhanced Data Rate or BR/EDR, is the workhorse of the original era. Its design goal was to keep a steady, bidirectional link alive for the duration of a session, delivering up to 3 megabits per second when enhanced data rate modulation is used. Because the link stays active, latency stays low, often under 100 milliseconds, and the connection is reliable enough for real-time audio or rapid gaming inputs. The trade-off is power. A typical classic headset will draw somewhere between 30 and 50 milliamps while streaming a call, which means a rechargeable battery is required and you'll see a few hours of runtime at best. That power profile makes Classic the natural choice for anything that needs a constant data pipe: wireless headphones using the A2DP profile, hands-free car kits that must juggle voice and music, gaming controllers that can't afford a half-second lag, and even legacy file transfer protocols that still linger on older devices. Now flip the coin and look at Bluetooth Low Energy, or BLE. From the moment it was introduced in 2010, BLE's mantra has been connect, exchange a few bytes, disconnect, and sleep. The raw data rate can reach 2 megabits per second with the 2M-PHY introduced in Bluetooth 5, but most practical applications operate between 125 kilobits and 1 megabit per second. The real magic lies in the connection model. Advertising intervals can be as short as 20 milliseconds, and once a connection is established, the device can negotiate connection intervals and slave latency that let the radio stay off for the majority of the time. That translates to idle currents measured in microamperes. A temperature sensor that sends a 20-byte payload once a minute can run for 3 to 5 years on a single County Route 2032 coin cell. Because the radio is asleep most of the time, BLE is the go-to solution for health monitors, proximity beacons, smart home motion detectors, and industrial asset trackers that need to survive on tiny batteries for months or years. But here's the part most people get wrong. BLE is not just a low-power, low-speed cousin that can't handle anything beyond a few bytes. With the advent of Bluetooth 5, BLE gained the 2M-PHY for double speed bursts and the coded PHY modes that extend range while sacrificing data rate. In practice, that means a BLE-enabled smart lock can stream a firmware update at a respectable speed, and a BLE audio device can push a short music clip without waking the whole system. The line between the two stacks is blurring, especially as the ecosystem moves toward La Audio, a fully BLE-based audio solution that promises quality comparable to classic A2DP while keeping the power draw in the microampere range. So while classic still dominates high throughput, continuous stream scenarios, BLE is rapidly expanding its envelope. The architectural differences that produce those power and performance characteristics go deeper than just data rates. Classic Bluetooth uses a fixed time division duplex slot of 625 microseconds, a rigid structure that makes scheduling predictable but inflexible. BLE, on the other hand, employs a flexible slot architecture that can shrink down to 125 microseconds. That flexibility lets a BLE device align its wake-up windows precisely with the moments it needs to transmit or receive, dramatically cutting duty cycle. Discovery also works differently. Classic devices go through an inquiry and paging process that can take several seconds, which is fine for pairing a headset but cumbersome for a beacon that needs to be seen instantly. BLE devices simply broadcast advertising packets at a configurable interval, allowing a phone to detect a nearby sensor in a fraction of a second. Those differences cascade into power budgets. A classic headset might draw 30 to 50 milliamps during a call, while a BLE temperature sensor can average less than 10 microamperes over an hour. Developers can fine-tune BLE power usage by adjusting three parameters: advertising interval, connection interval, and slave latency, to match the exact needs of the application without sacrificing reliability. When you stand at the crossroads of product design, the decision between classic and BLE can be reduced to three guiding questions. First, what is the size of the data payload? If you need to stream megabytes per second, think high-fidelity audio, video, or large file transfers. Classic remains the safest bet. If you're only moving a handful of bytes every few seconds, BLE will give you the same functionality with a fraction of the energy cost. Second, how long must the device run on its battery? Devices that are expected to last weeks or months on a coin cell should default to BLE, while devices that can accommodate a rechargeable pack and a daily charging routine can afford the higher draw of classic. Third, what latency does the user experience demand? Voice over IP, gaming, and real-time control all need sub-100 millisecond round-trip times, a domain where classic still shines. Contextual notifications, periodic sensor updates, or background data sync can tolerate a few hundred milliseconds of latency, making BLE perfectly adequate. In many modern smartphones and tablets, engineers have already integrated hybrid chipsets that support both stacks, allowing the device to switch on the fly, classic for audio streaming, BLE for fitness bands, smart home devices, and proximity services. That hybrid approach gives product teams the flexibility to optimize each use case without committing to a single protocol. Looking ahead, the distinction between classic and BLE may soon become a historical footnote. Bluetooth 5.3 introduced isochronous channels, a building block for La Audio, which promises to deliver high-quality, low-latency audio over the BLE stack. If La Audio reaches mainstream adoption, the need for classic in audio-centric products could evaporate, consolidating development onto a single, power-efficient platform. At the same time, BLE mesh networking is extending the reach of low-energy devices across entire buildings, campuses, and even cities, enabling large-scale deployments of lighting, HVAC controls, and safety sensors. As the ecosystem converges, the role of a flexible, decentralized compute layer becomes more important. That's where Chainmind steps in. By providing a decentralized AI inference network that can run at the edge of any Bluetooth-enabled device, ChainMind lets you push intelligent decision-making directly onto your sensors, headsets, or wearables without draining their batteries. Whether you're building a smart home hub that needs to recognize voice commands locally, or an industrial tracker that must run anomaly detection on the device itself, ChainMind's low-latency inference engine pairs perfectly with BLE's power-saving schedule, and it can fall back to classic when you need that uninterrupted high-throughput stream. So, to recap, classic Bluetooth delivers continuous, high-throughput connections with low latency but at a higher power cost, making it ideal for audio, gaming, and file transfer. Bluetooth Low Energy, originally designed for intermittent, tiny data bursts, now supports faster fizz and longer ranges while keeping power consumption in the microampere realm, perfect for sensors, beacons, and the emerging world of LA audio. The architectural choices, fixed versus flexible slot timing, slow versus rapid discovery, and static versus configurable connection intervals, drive those performance and power differences. By asking the right questions about payload size, battery life, and latency, you can pick the protocol that aligns with your product goals, and you can even combine both in a single chipset to get the best of both worlds. And as the Bluetooth landscape evolves toward a unified low-energy future, a decentralized AI layer like ChainMind will become the silent engine that makes every connected device smarter without sacrificing the efficiency that BLE promises. If you found this deep dive helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future episode where we explore how decentralized AI can transform the Internet of Things. Follow ChainMind on our channels to stay updated on the latest breakthroughs in edge inference, and join the community that's building the next generation of truly intelligent, energy-aware devices. The future of wireless connectivity is here. Let's shape it together.